please spare me all that and don't you dare pretend like you care. I told you how I feel about Sarah and I can't believe you did that to me. Mike, I thought we're friends. Bro, what are you insinuating? You married her behind my back? Behind your back? No, in front of your weakness.
You know, they say betrayal doesn't hurt, but it hurts when it comes from the people you trust with your life. You might be saying, bruh, this may not be too deep, but listen to what I have to say. My name is John, the only son of the Howard family and heir to Howard and Safari Holdings. People looked at my life and assumed I had everything a man could ever need. Money, comforts, status. The kind of life most people dream about. But what people see from the outside is really the full truth. Because behind the expensive walls and the family name, I grew up with a kind of loneliness money could never cure. I was an only child. No brother to fight with, no one to share secrets with, no one who understood what it felt like to carry expectations before you even became a man. I learned how to be surrounded by the people and still feel alone. I learned how to smile in rooms where I felt empty. Then university came, and for the first time in my life, something changed. That was where I met Mike. We didn't become close because of money, or popularity, or convenience. We became close because somehow we understood each other without trying too hard. It was the person who could walk into a room and make it lighter. The kind of person who made strangers feel like old friends. And before I realized it, he became the brother life never gave me. Mike was everything I wasn't. Loud, where I was quiet. Bold, where I was careful. Funny, where I was serious. Somehow, we balanced each other perfectly. We ate together, studied together, skipped classes together, and defended each other like blood. If I had a problem, Mike was already standing beside me before I asked. If he needed anything, I never let him face it alone. Within months, people stopped calling us John and Mike. On campus, we were just known as brothers.
If you ever fall, I'll be the first one there. To help me up? No, to laugh first, then help you.
Looking back now, those days were some of the happiest days of my life. Life has a strange way of giving you peace right before it tests you. Back then, I didn't know that. I just thought life was finally becoming kind to me. With Mike beside me, university felt less like a place I had to survive, and more like a place I could actually enjoy. We had become men everywhere we went. If people saw me, they asked for Mike. If people saw Mike, they asked where I was. Some friendship take years to build. Ours felt natural from the beginning, like something life had owed me for a long time. For the first time in years, I stopped feeling like the lonely boy in a crowded room. I had someone who understood my silence, laughed at my worst jokes, and never made me feel like I had to prove who I was. I thought I had found something unbreakable. I just didn't know life was about to introduce a new chapter in the most ordinary way possible. It happened on a warm afternoon after class. Mike and I were leaving the faculty building, arguing over something stupid like we always did, when someone walked past us carrying books that almost slipped from our hands. Mike reacted first, catching them before they hit the floor. She laughed softly, embarrassed, and for some reason, everything around us felt quieter for a second. She had one of those smiles that made people pause without realizing it. Calm, effortless, dangerous in a way beauty often is. Mike handed the books back to her and grinned like he always did.
You owe me a thank you.
For catching what you almost caused me to drop?
Don't mind him, he thinks he's a hero.
And you think you're different?
That was the first time I met Sarah, and the first moment none of us knew would matter later. After that day, Sarah became a regular part of our lives so natural that none of us questioned it. It started with small things, like working together after class, sharing lunch, laughing over jokes that weren't even funny. But somehow, small things became routine. Before long, it felt strange whenever one of us was missing. If Mike was late, Sarah would ask where he was. If Sarah skipped class, Mike would complain louder than anyone. If I was quiet, both of them noticed before I said a word. People on campus started calling us the perfect trio. They said we looked like the kind of friendship people say cheers for and never find. And maybe they were right. Those days felt easy, light, untouched by anything ugly. Looking back now, I think happiness can be dangerous when you trust it too much. One evening, we sat outside the campus cafe while the sun dropped behind the building. Mike was talking loudly as usual, telling a ridiculous story that had Sarah laughing so hard she nearly spilled her drink. I watched them both and smiled. It felt good seeing the two people I cared about enjoying themselves. Sarah turned to me suddenly.
Why are you so quiet today?
Nothing, just listening. That's John's special talent. He watches everything.
Then tell me something. What do you see right now?
I looked at her for a second and forgot how to answer. That was the first time I noticed something changing. I just couldn't tell what it was yet. After that evening, something felt different. Nothing obvious, nothing anyone else would notice. Just one moment that stayed in my head longer than they should have. The way Sarah looked at me when I spoke, the way I started noticing when she wasn't around, the way ordinary days suddenly felt better when she was part of them. I kept telling myself it was nothing. Friendship, comfort, familiarity, but some feelings arrived quietly. By the time you named them, they were already grown. We were leaving class when rain started suddenly. Mike ran hide laughing, while Sarah and I stayed under the hallway roof.
Your friend is insane.
You're just learning that now?
No, I'm learning there's more to you than silence.
And what if there isn't?
Then why do I keep wanting to know more?
That night, sleep became difficult. Loving someone quietly is a dangerous thing. Nobody sees the battle except you. Every smile means too much. Every message gets reread. Every moment feels important. I wanted to tell Sarah how I felt more times than I can count. But fear has a way of sounding reasonable. Wait for the right time. Don't ruin the friendship. There was still time. So I waited. Mike dropped beside me in the cafeteria with his usual energy.
You look like a man carrying secrets. Maybe I am. Then what is the problem? Okay, bro, look, I'm developing feelings for Sarah, but I don't know how to tell her. So what are you gonna do? I don't know, man. Then tell her how you feel before someone else does.
He laughed after saying it. I did too. I wish I had taken that joke seriously. I finally made up my mind. No more hesitation, no more overthinking. I was going to tell Sarah the truth. I planned everything in my head like it was a business meeting. The place, the words, the timing. Funny how life waits until you feel ready before reminding you that you control nothing. I called Mike first.
Bro, I'm telling Sarah how I feel tonight.
Tonight? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
big.
It was the first time I heard hesitation in his voice. After that call, things became strange in ways I could not explain. Sarah started replying slower. Mike became harder to reach. Plans get cancelled more often. Nothing dramatic, just enough to make me question myself. I met Sarah outside the class.
Everything okay? You seem distant.
Of course. Maybe you're noticing too much.
Maybe I was, or maybe I still wasn't noticing enough. We met at a cafe later that week, but something about the table felt unfamiliar. Mike and Sarah were already laughing when I arrived. There was one empty seat left, mine. I sat down, smiling, but for the first time, I felt late to something I was supposed to belong to.
There he is. You're late. Looks like I was already replaced. Don't worry, we saved you a spot.
Oh, so.
Relax, bro. It's just a seat.
Sometimes, jokes tell the truth first. That night, my phone buzzed from another number. It says, "You trust the wrong people." I stared at the screen for minutes. No name, no explanation. I said, "Who is this?" No reply. I called Mike.
Probably someone playing games. You think so? I know so.
He sounded so confident. Once doubts enter your mind, everything changes. You start noticing details you ignored before. Shared glances, inside jokes that you aren't part of, sudden silence when you arrived. Sarah's phone lit up while she stepped away. Mike with a heart emoji. My chest tightened. She came back smiling, and I had to pretend nothing happened. 2 days later, another message came. It says, "Downtown Hotel, 7 p.m. I should have ignored it. I didn't. I stood across the street and watched them walking together.
No.
Some truth don't break you when you hear them. They break you when you see them. I wanted to stand inside, scream, fight, demand answers. Instead, I stood there, frozen, because pain can make a man feel powerless. My phone rang. The same unknown number, again.
If you think that hurts, wait till tomorrow. What do you mean?
I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I received a photo. Mike in suit, Sarah in white gown, rings on their hands. The photo had an attached message which said, "They get married yesterday." They didn't just betray me, they built a whole future behind my back. I couldn't breathe after seeing the wedding pictures. My chest burned, my hands shook. Betrayal is one thing, humiliation is another. They didn't just choose each other, they chose to make a fool out of me. So I did the only thing a broken man thinks will help. I went looking for answers. I found Mike that same night. Rooftop parking lot, night wind. Mike standing alone beside his car. He saw me and he grinned as usual.
Hey, big man, what's up? You look like you're being beaten. Tell me, what's up with you? Please spare me all that and don't you dare pretend like you care. I told you how I feel about Sarah and I can't believe you did that to me. Mike, I thought we're friends. Bro, what are you insinuating? You married her behind my back? Behind your back? No. In front of your weakness. You called me brother and you acted like one. Soft, trusting, blind. Why would you do this? Because I wanted to. The text, was that you too? Unknown number? Yeah, that was me. Why? Remember when I told you? Tell her how you feel before someone else does? Well, I'm the someone else.
And guess what? She wanted me more than she'd ever want you.
That was the moment heartbreak ended, and hunger was born. I disappeared after that, not because I was weak, but because I needed to become someone new. I poured my hunger into discipline, my heartbreak into growth, my silence into purpose. Months later, Mike called.
Bro, can we talk? Okay, but... Bro, you lost the right to call me that.
Then I hung up, smiling. Losing them felt like the end of my life. It was actually the beginning of it. Some people enter your life to love you. Others enter to teach you what love should never look like. Sarah saw me one last time.
Do you hate us now?
No, I thank you.
For what?
For forcing me to meet the man I became after you.
After school, I went back home and took over my father's business. While they were busy with the life they stole, I was busy building a life they could never touch. Pain made me sharper. Silence made me wiser. Loss made me stronger. The boy they betrayed no longer exists. You might be asking, did I ever forgive them? No, I didn't. But I've grown past it now. Still, sometimes I think about revenge. Then I ask myself, what can I really do? If betrayal ever made you stronger, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Follow for more, and I'll see you in my next video.
If betrayal ever built you stronger, subscribe,